I don't think anybody gave you permission to be here. But then I suppose nobody asked any of our permissions to be born. So, if you really think about it, nobody's supposed to be here. But if nobody's supposed to be here, maybe we all are supposed to be living. But I'm just rambling anyway. Do you ever wonder if there's a purpose to our living? I don't mean something that all people are supposed to do. I don't mean that we're all supposed to help each other or we're all supposed to look after the planet. I don't mean like that. I mean, do you ever wonder if there's individual purpose? If the person who's a dentist is really supposed to be a dentist? Or if they just pick things because there's pressure on them socially? I guess some people might like dentistry, but I have a feeling they pick it because it's practical and the money is alright. I'm having a kind of crossroads moment, but without an actual fork in the road, because there is no road. There's just a forest. It's a bit dark. I hear rustling of leaves, and the only path is bits of grass pushing up through the soil. And I'm standing on it, and I look around, and there doesn't seem to be anywhere to go. I don't really know what I'm doing. Do you? Do you know what you're doing? Why are you here in this forest? Why are you here next to me? There's a hut a mile or so down the way. That's where I like to stay. Why are we here? What are we doing? Sometimes people like to say, just follow your heart, as if that's supposed to be some kind of answer. As if you look inside your chest cavity, there's just gonna be an answer there. That seems absurd to me. Does it seem absurd to you too? Maybe I'm looking at it all wrong. But if I am looking at it incorrectly, you think that somebody else would be able to provide me with a definition of what that means. And yet nobody can. So, follow your heart. Follow what? Look inside my chest cavity? Follow my organs? That doesn't make sense. How do you pick what you're going to do? I mean, I keep getting, words hurtled at me saying, oh, well, you can't expect to have the perfect job right away. Well, whoever said that that's what I expect? I don't. And I think most people don't. So, what do I do? What do I do indeed? Where do I work? If I close my eyes and meditate and try to think about aesthetics, environment, atmosphere, positive feelings, satisfying relief after hard work. If I try to visualize what that kind of environment might look like, do you know what I see? Emptiness, blackness, and I just hear more rustling and crunching of leaves in this dark void. there's nothing else. Do you hear anything else? Do you hear something? I don't hear anything. So what are we supposed to do? I have to do something. I mean, I'm doing something now, but I hate it. I mean, I don't hate it because there's always worse, right? What I'm doing now, of course, doesn't cause me suffering, but I feel like every time I clock in, a bit of my soul escapes my body. Just a little bit, just a tiny, tiny bit. But after some time of a tiny bit of your life essence slipping out of your being, you're bound to get weary, aren't you? And I am. I'm quite weary. I'm tired of it. I'm exhausted. Mentally exhausted. My performance is fine. I'm doing well, I guess. But it's kind of a pointless job, really. I mean, it serves an end, as many things do, but it doesn't have a fulfilling purpose. Again, I don't expect to do anything grand right away, but life's short. I could die next week, and I wouldn't want to have used all of my time doing something meaningless, making money for people who will never care about my existence or my coworkers' existences. So, I'd like to do something worthwhile. Another thing that concerns me is that I don't use any of my mind at my job. I like to think and consider, and I like to examine different perspectives and approaches to life. I like to find different solutions, and, well, I don't get to use any of those bits of my brain at my job. In fact, it's almost like every time I clock in, my brain leaks out of my toes. It just turns to liquid, drips down my spine, down my legs, into my feet where it pools for a while, and after the pressure builds, it just escapes out from underneath my toenails. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like most of my coworkers. They're nice people. I don't just tolerate their company. I actually enjoy a lot of theirs. But I can't stay there just because I have good conversation or I make other people's days better. Not because I'm so great or anything, but just because when each of us gets along with each other, it helps the day go by. And they help my day go by, but I don't know. I don't think that's a good enough reason. So what am I doing? I'm waiting and looking, but that's not anything different than anybody else does. So if other people get results, and I'm doing as much as I know how to do, well, how do I find the difference between them and me? What's the difference between my waiting and looking and trying and straining and failing and they're getting results? What's the difference? It's not motivation, it's not drive. I have plenty of that. I am self-motivated, dedicated, determined. I'm a hard worker. I don't slack off. I don't dick around on the job. I'm not lazy. I work, and I work well. And even if I don't like my job, I want people to look well upon me and know that, oh, well, she clearly hates it here because everybody hates it here. But while she is hating it, she is doing a good job. And while I can tell she hates it because everybody would hate it, she is smiling and did provide excellent service. If that makes any sense. It does to me, so I guess that's all that matters. Goodness. You never answered. Why are you here? These are my woods. I guess one thing I didn't think about is that when the woods are yours and just yours and it's only you there, it can be a little lonesome. Don't get me wrong, I love the trees, flowers, the wind. Oh, the wind, I love the wind. And birds and cats and funny creepy crawlies, and well, they're all great, but there's something different about nature. I mean, of course, we're a part of nature, and one of the biggest errors humans make is viewing nature as otherness and viewing nature as wild, which is a description of something unruly. It's negative. When we are nature completely. It's part of us. It made us. We help shape it. We are the environment. Not all of it, but we are it. Just as the grass is the environment, the air is the environment, water is the environment. We are nature. It's not another. But the difference is that sometimes nature can communicate with each other, and I don't mean with their voices and sounds. I don't mean words or screeches or howls or growls. No, it seems nature communicates with itself in its own way. Something natural and flowing, something implicit and innate. And while humans seem to be able to have moments of experience in that, there's something that separates us. I don't know if we're naturally separate or if we've separated ourselves, but there's something lacking there, and I think that's why communication with other humans can be so richly fulfilling, because, I mean, it can produce things, but it doesn't have to be productive. That's not what it's about. It can be about connection, and that's certainly more fulfilling, but even still, just talking to people at all, I mean, not for everybody, but it can just be useful, not to an end, but to us. Sometimes we just need it done for its own sake. So in these woods, I have nature around me and I connect with it. I'm rooted to it. It's important. The wind carries me. The water sustains me. But with no people, it gets a little old. I guess I get tired of not applying myself. It's the same with my work. I get tired of not applying myself. I've been there for a few years, and while my job is the exact same now as it was the first day, for some reason, some days are different than other days. It's not that it's busier, but my limbs will just be tired, fatigued even. I'm not doing anything different. We may even be having a slow day, but I just can't seem to move the way I need to. It's like I have weights on my wrists and my ankles, and I feel exhausted and winded and out of breath. Even if I've eaten plenty, had enough water, slept enough, I get exercise. It's not anything like that. Just sometimes I'm at work and, well, I guess it's that bit of soul leaving me. It just drains you, and, well, the only thing you can do is leave. Nothing's going to end that soul drain. That place is going to keep on draining, being a drainer to you and other beings. So, I have to leave. But it's never that easy. Oh no. If it was, I obviously wouldn't be here, and I would have already made the changes I need to make. Are other jobs available? Yes. But do they provide a life-sustaining wage? No. No, they don't. I mean, my current one doesn't even provide a life-sustaining wage, but others do even less. And my particular region is affected disproportionately with rent inflation, and our cost of food and gas is equivalent to a major metropolitan city, even though it is not a major metropolitan city. It's just a regular city. So it costs more, but you get less. What was it? It was some poll. I can't remember who told me, but it was verifiable. It was something like, if you had a minimum wage job working in my town, with our cost of living, you'd have to work 70, 80 hours a week just to pay for rent, plus food, car expenses, and then don't even get me started on medical services, health insurance, anything like that. That's not even approaching there. I mean, I understand completely that what I describe isn't anything unique. It's the same all over, and I also have a balanced enough head to understand that many people have it much, much worse. I understand that, but it doesn't make it any less real. Just because things could be worse doesn't mean things are good now. Just because things could be better doesn't mean that there isn't progress to be made. I mean, I guess that's saying the same thing, but it feels different. Does that make sense? Things could be better. Things could be worse. You know? And each of us has our own experiences to go through. It's just, it's trying. Especially when you've done so much work, you know, you've prepared, gone to school, gone into debt, and you've tried to apply yourself, and you want to be useful to you and to your loved ones, and you want to have a useful change on your immediate community, and you want to apply yourself, and you look around and there's nowhere to go. You're still stuck in that dark woods, and it's a crossroads, but there's no road. So how can you follow your heart and make that decision? How can you pursue hobbies and passions when there isn't even a fork in the road in the first place? How can you choose left or right if there is no separating out of the road? How can you make the east choice if there is no path on the east? How can you go straight ahead if there is no road straight ahead? How can you make choices and make decisions and go along when you're just standing in a dimly lit wood, when all around you is trees and patchy grass and soil that isn't even satisfying? It's not even cool, nutrient-rich soil. It's sandy and dry, and lots of fire ants and venomous spiders are crawling all through it and trying to run up your toes. How are you supposed to make a choice like that? How are you supposed to better yourself when you're just standing in the woods in the middle of the night? When you don't know where your house is, you don't know where to get food, you don't know how to spend your time, you don't know how to better yourself. You have all the motivation, determination, will, inner strength. That's not the issue. It's not about you being lazy and not applying yourself. It's just, where are you? Where do you go? So, this is my spot. Maybe you should wander somewhere else. Goodbye.